In this video, we will be creating an animation. The animation will have a title page that lasts 1 second. We'll have to be conscious of how many frames per second we are exporting our video animation at, and however many frames per second we export at, that's how many frames we will need to duplicate for our title page. Next, we will resize our canvas using powers of 2. I'm going to choose 256 by 256. I would ask that you choose either 256 by 256 or 128 by 128. When creating pixel art, it's important to use powers of 2. 1 doubled is 2, 2 doubled is 4, 8, and so on. I would like your animation to tell a very basic story. Mine is going to be the boy blinked, and we're going to use some simple shading as well. Let's start animating. I have Piskel open. First thing I will do is resize my canvas. You can either check this or uncheck it. 256 by 256. And we will resize. Down in the bottom, notice it says 256 by 256. That's now the size of our canvas. My paint bucket tool and my color set to black. I'm going to fill my screen. I think that I'll set a large border. Set it to the color white and create a rectangular border to kind of fill my screen. In order to add a little bit more variety, I'm going to choose a dark shade of gray. Grays can be chosen along this left-hand column. Go to my fill tool and fill this with gray. For my text, I will use white letters. Unfortunately, this is just going to have to be done with the pencil tool and done by eye. I'll do this the best I can. That looks good. Please put your name at the bottom, and then put the title of your animation above. The boy blinked. Excellent. Once we have our title screen created, we will set our animation to how many frames per second we would like it to play at. I'm going to set mine to 10 frames per second, and this will mean that I will need 10 frames that say the boy blinked. Once we have all of our frames set for our title screen, we will add a new frame. We should start to see a little bit of a blink because we do currently have a blank frame at the end of our 10 frames that will show our title. I'm going to start by creating the geometry for my boy. Put the boy right in the center of my screen. If you'd like to move it over, you can draw a marquee box around that, and then notice that there's some options. If we hold shift, we can kind of change the position of whatever is inside our marquee box. I like that. With my paint bucket selected, I will next choose a skin tone and fill that with a skin tone. You can see the blink happening. I think next I will put in my character's mouth, maybe decreasing to a 2x2 stroke, and we'll make that black. I'm a little too high on the right hand side, so we'll get rid of a little bit of that. Fill that with pink for the inside of the character's mouth. Choose black again to define our character's nose. Let's try this again. Good enough. With our color set to black, I'm going to create the character's eyes at this point. We'll go back to our fill tool, set it to white, and fill both eyes with the color white. Next I'm going to draw my character's hair. I'll set my color back to black. He has a bit of shaggy hair. Next, I will set my color to a dark brown. With my paint bucket, I will fill some of these empty spots. But we have an issue. This black line, if I attempt to fill it, it will also change the color of my character's face. What we're going to need to do is switch over to our eraser tool and just separate this black line from our black facial border, as well as from our hair. We do need to leave a bit of a border for the hair and the face. Next, we'll choose our black color, we'll choose our brown color, select our paint bucket, and I should be able to fill this line as well as this line. Notice that there still is a connection there. So with our eraser, we need to just break that. Go back to our paint bucket, fill this area, fill that area, and this. We have a small section to fix there, small section to fix there, and we'll fill in up there as well. Kind of ghastly with these white eyes. So we will fix that in our next video.